that, you can get through anything, okay? And
at that moment, I knew my life had changed forever.
Hello, how you doing? Yes. Can we all just stand up really quick because we've been sitting for a minute? Can we all stand up, move our legs around? I am Tina, otherwise...
Meet Tina, stars Tina Wilson, a beacon of hope and transformation for women over 40. As a licensed life and health coach, Tina specializes in empowering those who have faced life's toughest challenges.
The edge of their seat. So when someone says, Tina, how did you do? I'm going to say, I had them at the edge of their seat.
Drawing from her personal triumphs over tragedy, Tina guides women on a transformative journey. Her unique approach is grounded in the 5 pillars of transformation: mindset, heart set, nutrition, fitness, and resilience. Tina's mind, body, and soul awakening program isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Through her online fitness boutique studio, she merges physical well-being with emotional growth. As an international motivational speaker, Tina's voice resonates across continents. She inspires and educates through her podcast, her dynamic presence on platforms like Clubhouse and Toastmasters International, and her compelling storytelling. Celebrating her latest achievement, the publication of her first book, No More Traumedy, Tina continues to leave a lasting mark in the art of transformation.
I said I need to make a book for anyone who's had some type of trauma or tragedy, because there's no playlist. People don't like to talk about it. Remember, I was with my coach and I'm like, well, this person's got a cool thing. They do motivation. They do finances. I talk about traumedy. That's not cute. He's like, Tina, you make traumedies look good.
Yeah. Stars Tina Wilson, transforming lives by overcoming one traumedy at a time.
Hey, good morning to you, and also you. Welcome to the 7 a.m. Cup of Motivation. I am Stars Tina, your host, here Monday through Friday to bring you the motivation, the inspiration, and the transformation. Today, I come to you from the airport. So I want to apologize ahead of time if you hear like some background noise that's just like, what is going on there? So welcome. Today, I'm super excited to be with you because it's another day, family. If this is your first time, I want to say thank you so much. Make sure you click subscribe on that YouTube channel. I like to start each show with a motivational clip that motivates me, that motivates you to kind of like get the show started, right? And I talk about her every week. Lisa Nichols, I'm doing her 8-week program. This is officially week 2, I guess you can say, of the program where we're learning so many amazing things. And today we have a hot topic. Yesterday was Sunday, as you know. And if anyone out there has ever heard of Joel Osteen, and for the longest time I thought it was O with an L, but it's Osteen. I actually went to the church yesterday and it was absolutely amazing and beautiful. I'll talk about that a little later. But let's get started with our motivational clip of the day. Renee, roll it. It's coming. I promise. It's coming, crew.
Dreaming says, I'm not keeping score on where you've come from. I'm not keeping score on what your religious background is. I'm not keeping score on what your family may have said about you. I'm not going to keep score on any of that. Dreaming says, who do you choose to become? Man, dreaming is necessary. Dreaming is like oxygen. But once you dream, then you better get into action. Because your dream is asking you, please pick me up off of the pillow. Please strap me on your back with your backpack. Please don't leave me here all day while you go out and live ordinary. Please take me with you.
Please take me. Okay, just waiting for Renee to bring me back in. There we go. Please take me with you. She's talking about your dreams, right? And we all have dreams. I invite you to think when you were a child, all right, 5, 6, maybe 7 years old, and you thought to yourself, people always ask kids, right, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be? I actually did that with my niece. I said, write down 5 things you want to be when you grow up. And it was so cute, her little handwriting. One of them was a chef. I can't really remember what they were, but I put them on the side. And as a child, our dreams are huge. They're ginormous, right? But then as you get older, you get nervous, you get scared. I don't know if I can do that. But some of us still have those dreams, right? And then once you see it, like she said, you have to work. And the topic from her story right there and church yesterday just kind of fits so lovely, because when you have a dream, when you have things you want to do in life, sometimes you get a storm. And when I say a storm, like a down, right? Something that's like not so good. You're going to go through storms in your life. And yesterday, Joel Osteen, he was talking about a storm. And all right, so I'm not like, I may mess it up. So forgive me if I mess it up for all the, church people out there and know your stories really well. He was talking about the miracle of 5 loaves and 2 fish, how, God made the multitude so all the people could eat, right? Because that was a miracle. And then the disciples wanted to stay there. And he was saying how he wanted them to go somewhere else. And they got on the boat. And when they were on the boat, it was this storm. It was this really bad storm. And they were all nervous. And Jesus was like, don't be nervous. And then he was saying how Jesus easily could have calmed the rivers. He could have calmed the storm so the storm was gone, but he did not do that. He had them go through the storm. And what happened was, when they went through the storm, they were supposed to be going to one town. Don't get me started, but it was someone with a B, the other one with a G. They were supposed to be going to one town, but because of the storm, it diverted them to another town. And over there, it was abundance. By the way, Renee, if I forget, I want you to order me this book, Abundance Life. I'll give you the name of it. But when they went to this other town, it was abundance. It was nothing what they thought. It was actually more than what they wanted. And his point of the story is, and it goes to my first tip, which is faith. Today's topic is 3 ways of how you can get through the storm, is by having faith. And he was saying, just trusting in him. The disciples thought they were going one way, but they ended up going another way. And there was so much more abundance in that way. And I think in life, sometimes, I know I used to be this way. Right now, I'm like done. I'm done with trying to control everything. I'm done with those storms. When you just have faith and say, okay, God, I'm here. What is it that you want? You're going to get abundance and more than what you actually thought, right? You may be wishing and thinking for certain things. And then another one, Pastor Mike was talking about the same thing also. He was talking about filling your vessel, right? And sometimes, how big is the cup? How big are your dreams? How big are the things that you want? If you ask for this much, guess what? You're going to get that much. And he was talking about pouring the overflow, right? God's going to give you abundance. He's going to give you an overflow of things. But if you have a little old cup, that's all you're going to get. You have to have depending on you, as a person, what you want. Do you want a ginormous cup or a bowl or a bucket or a garbage can or whatever? Just, you have to have that true faith, and you're not going to see it. You're not going to understand it. Trust and believe me, guys. I do this every day. I'm like, okay, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I'm just having faith. Like right now, I'm on my way to New Jersey, New York for an event, and then to Florida. And I'm just like, okay, how is this happening? And then next month, even more. It's just going by faith, right? I don't know if you guys ever heard the song with anyone here in the choir. And when they were younger, we had a choir. We actually had, I don't remember actually wearing a robe, but I remember walking down the aisle and we'd like march back and forth. And one of our songs was, we've come this far by faith, trusting in. Okay, I might have forgot the words. It's okay, but we've come this far by faith. How far you are in your life is probably by faith. Yes, you're going to get those ups. You're going to get those downs. You're going to get those storms, but you have to look past the storm. You have to push through the storm. So the one tip that can help you get through a storm in your life is to have faith. Maybe you read the Bible. Maybe you go to church. Maybe you grab onto someone that's connected, closer than you are. And that's what I did. I always, my girl Angeline Moore, she is my little heart. She's the one who actually got me even closer to God, I like to say. So it's super important when you're going through the storms, because you might be in a storm right now. It's like, will I ever sometimes it seems like my entire life has been a storm. But yes, there are some beautiful days. Yesterday was an absolutely beautiful day. As I told you, I got to go to Joel Osteen's church. And when I first walked in the door, and the thing that made me go there, the last time I was on the plane, and it was a Sunday, and he was playing on the little, TV on the plane. And I was like, my mother always talks about it. My aunt always talks about it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. It's like less than 30 minutes from the house. So as I'm going in the parking lot, they have this big sign to go in. And then it's a sign that keeps saying, Lakewood Church. You just keep following the signs. And then you see the building. And then when I walked in, I could just feel something. I just kind of stood. And I looked around and I saw the people and I just, just took it in. It's like, okay. And then I went inside and there were stairs the way I went in, stairs to walk into the actual sanctuary, the actual church. And I took like 4 steps up and like something stopped me in my tracks. And I just stood there. And then tears just started coming. I could hear Victoria talking and I just started crying. And I'm just like, whoa, this is heavy. Again, that energy, it's just like that. And I just take it in. I wasn't fighting it. I was just standing there. People were walking around me. And then I got to my seat and it was absolutely beautiful. It was amazing. The choir was thumping it down. But again, he wasn't, he was talking about having that faith, just pushing through. So that's the first tip right there when you're going through a storm. And remember, these storms, I always say, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. With everything in life, with exercise, right? When you work out, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna die. No, you're not gonna die. Just push through. It makes you stronger. That's how muscles grow, right? Okay, so as we move through, tip number 2, fight. Never, 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 ever, ever in your whole life give up. All right. And when I say fight, I didn't plan on this, but I'm gonna turn it into my funny boy story. Okay. You're gonna do what people around you do. And his entire life, he saw his mother working, doing this, hustling, and his thing was he wanted a better life for his family. It was always about his family. And at 18 years old, I mean, think about when you're 18, your mind was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. He was a Leo, so he was very, I'm going to do things my way, right? I didn't even try to fight him to, go to college, even though he did go to, because he thought that's what I wanted. I think he was there for like a month. And then he dropped out and then he started working at FedEx and stopped that because his dream was to have a sneaker store. So he had his first sneaker store and that particular one, this is at 18 years old. And the way he did it, and this is very important, family and friends, you can make anything, I repeat, anything. I repeat, anything. Anything can happen, anything you want if you use your mindset and you're creative, right? He didn't have money to open up his own store, but one of his sister's friends said, hey, I have a friend who has a store. You can ask him if you can use part of the store to have your shop. So that's what he did. He went to the person's store. He said, hey, can I rent out part of your shop? He rented out part of the shop, and that's where he had his first sneaker store. And that did fail, unfortunately, but that made him stronger, right? In life, you're going to do things and you're going to fail. That's what you want to fail forward. And you hear Les Brown say, if you can look up, you can get up. We want to fail. I don't know about you, but I love failing because it gets me closer to the better things in life, right? From the first store he failed, he opened up his second store. It was phenomenal, all right? And his mindset was huge. It was so huge, I couldn't even see it, guys. I couldn't understand it. He's telling me, well, he's going to get this, he's going to do this. He had these murals painted on the walls. They were absolutely beautiful. The person who did the murals in his shop, he had one of Kobe and one of Michael Jordan, like pretending like they were playing each other. And then the other side of the wall, he had Biggie. And the person who actually drew these did a mural in Missy Elliott's house. So when I tell you my son had that opulence mindset, that upper, it was just there. And then from the first store, he kept stretching and stretching, opened up another location in Philadelphia. And he's like, you know what, this place is too small, we got to go bigger. So they were planning on getting a bigger shop. But unfortunately, if you don't know my story, and trigger warning, if this, affects anyone, he was murdered in his shop. How? Fighting, all right? Fighting, and because he loved the store. Someone came in to break into the store and all he saw was a gun and he just started fighting them. Now, I'm not saying, that was right or wrong or whatever. But when it comes to your dreams, when I say fight, I'm talking about fight to get up in the morning, fight to do the work, fight to not give up. Think of it as if you're in my daughter said this to me once. My daughter surfs and she took my niece surfing with her a couple of years ago. And my niece would get washed up in the water. And she would say, it's like a washing machine. And you know how a washing machine, it goes around, there's water all over the place. And my daughter said to me once, she's like, Mom, you're in a washing machine, just fight to get out. And I brought it back and she said, that's what happens when she's surfing. You might get caught in a wave and you're in there, you gotta fight to get out. So if you want to reach those dreams, if you want to reach those goals, you have to fight. My biggest fight right now is, and I'm so close to it, and it feels so good. A couple years ago, I was really tapping into my personal development. I was really tapping into my public speaking. And I said to myself, I want to I want to see Lisa Nichols speak in person. That was my goal, my dream. It was my dream to see her speak. I saw like all the greats from Tony Robbins to Les Brown, I can go on and on, Eric Thomas, all the people I wanted to see. And I was like, I want to see her. Guess what, family? Not only am I going to see her, but I'm going to get to speak to her. I'm going to take a photo with her. When I've done a couple lives, because I've done her 5-day challenge, and she pulled me up and she actually repeated my story, which was like, whoa, phenomenal. So when you're dreaming and fighting to get there, it will happen if you focus on focus like binoculars. Yes, focus on your future to get to the top. Let's do that again one more time. Focus on your future to get to the top. And I'm going to ask you, where do you want to go? To the top. Yes. Why? Because the top is less congested. The bottom, it's all scrunched. It's like a bunch of sardines down there. We don't want to be at the bottom. We want to be at the top. All right. So the second tip was fight. And tip number 3, remember your why, family and friends. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is it that you want? What is the purpose of it? Your why has to be so freaking big. It makes you want to cry. And your why is going to be different for different things, right? My why when it comes to fitness is because my father passed away when he was 49 years old. So for me, when it comes to me being healthy, when it comes to me supporting my tribe so that they're healthy, I think, well, Tina, you're doing this to have your father's legend push through. He didn't die for a reason. When it comes to my business and succeeding, I think of my son. He had so many dreams, so many things. So when you're tapping into your why, it makes it so much easier to push through the storm. Okay, I'm lying. It doesn't make it easier. Nothing really makes it easy. It's hard. I'm just going to be honest with you. At least for me, it's hard. Because some days I'm just like, all right, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. But that's when you just tap into that why. You journal, you meditate, you tap into your tribe. And that is what's going to help you push through the troubles of that storm, because they come and they're going to go. Think of it, my friends, like the clouds in the sky, like the ocean. It's going to come, it's going to go. Just take deep breaths. And remember, emotions, they change, right? Like every 90 seconds. And you can get yourself in and out of it. What I just did, breath work, is the number one thing for me to get me out of my emotions. And I want to invite you to give it a try. When you feel you're anxious, you're angry, and breathe. And I thought of something the other day when my mother was driving, and some people can, and first of all, we all can control our emotions. You can control what you think. You can control what you think. You are of what you say, of what you feel. You are in total control of everything. But you have to realize that and understand it. And some people don't. So I decided the other day, when I'm in the car with my mother, I'm going to ask her if she wants me to drive, or I'm going to shut my mouth up, because I am very anxious, nervous, just scared, I'll say, when I'm in the car with someone. Good morning, mommy. And their driving isn't that safe for me. They're screaming, they're yelling, they're jerking, they're just like that. Because I've been in a lot of car accidents in my life, so I just have that, So instead of me saying, can you, please slow down or stop screaming, I'm just going to turn it around and take control and say, can I drive? This way, she doesn't have to worry about that. So if you're the point of this topic is, if you're in a situation and you don't like it, you have the opportunity to change it. And maybe they'll say no, and but just take yourself out of that situation. So if you're just watching this today, I'm talking about 3 things you can do to pull yourself out of a storm in life, because you're going to have storms. You're going to have things you want to do. You're going to have a plan for your life. I didn't plan on not knowing where I was going to have my final home, right? In my mind, my entire life, I'd be living in Texas, right? That was in Jersey. That was me. I'm a Jersey girl. I'm not leaving. And then from Jersey, COVID came, and I came to Texas. And then from Texas, I went to North Carolina. And then North Carolina didn't go too well. And now I'm back in Texas. And it's like, okay, God, where am I going? What do you want me to do? I didn't plan for this to happen. It's just going by faith. What does God want for me next? So when it comes to the storms in life, they're going to come, and I'm not fighting them anymore. So when it comes to the storms, the way you can get through, number 1 is have that faith. Believe that God has got your back, your front, your side, north, south, east, and west. He's got them all, my friends. Yes. All right. And the second thing, besides your faith, you have to fight. Never. Just keep pushing for your dreams and your goals. And the third one is remember your why. Those are the 3 tips for you today to tap into your why so you can push through all the things that you want to do. So as we come to the close of today's episode, I want to remind you that you are amazing. I want to remind you that you can achieve anything that you want to do. You are not alone. Yana, Lisa says that all the time. If you feel that you can't reach that goal, you feel like you can't get rid of that extra weight, you can't get that job, turn it around, because you can. Little tiny micro movements. The book for the next 2 weeks is Atomic Habits, and you have to make little baby habits, little changes. Maybe it starts with drinking a little bit more water. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's tapping into my tribe, because when you're connected with the Shooting Stars Collective, we work as a team together. Everyone accomplishes more to push ourselves to our goals. So I want to thank you for coming through today. Tomorrow we have a great guest. We have Ramon Ray coming through. If you're a small business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to be here tomorrow, because he's going to be giving us some great tips on how to grow your business as a small business owner. I am Star Tina, your life and health coach, that person that's going to take you from good to great to amazing. Have a great, wonderful day. And remember one thing, family and friends, one thing: you are amazing. Peace. And without all the hair grease.